Revelation chapter 6, verses 15, 16, and 17. I'm Jocelyn Anderson with Hungry Hearts Ministries. Are you reading your Bibles every day? Always picking up today where you left off yesterday? I hope so. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens, and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? You know, the seals in Revelation chapter 6, in the book of Revelation, are opened chronologically. I believe the 6th chapter of Revelation is an overview of much of what we're going to be reading and looking at later. The book of Revelation is written in chronological order. However, we must realize that the effects of each seal, and as we continue on, the woes that will be coming on the earth, they are cumulative, they are ongoing, and we will see them overlapping. There won't be any very neat starting and stopping points for each seal or each woe. They will begin chronologically. The effects will accumulate. The effects will be ongoing until Christ returns, and the effects of each will overlap. Let's take a look at what verse 15 here in Revelation chapter 6, where it talks about the kings of the earth and the great men, the rich men, everyone hiding themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains. We'll read about that a little bit later in the book of Revelation as well. And they're going to be saying to the mountains and the rocks to fall on them, to hide them from the face of him that sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. You know, Isaiah has much to say that corresponds. He saw much of what John saw. They saw a lot of the same thing. Daniel, well, all of the prophets actually saw some of what John saw. Isaiah did see the most, however. And we read in Isaiah chapter 2, And they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver, and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats. Now don't say, well, that we don't have idols of silver and idols of gold today. Yes, we do. We even worship the silver and the gold themselves. Anyway, they will throw these things to the moles and the bats. And they will go into the cleft of the rocks, and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. You know, during this 6th seal, there is going to be a great earthquake. It is going to be frightening. It looks like it's going to be a worldwide earthquake. So I encourage you to read your Bibles every day, always picking up today where you left off yesterday. If you do that, you'll gain a very good working knowledge of the Word of God. And as you read through the Revelation, by the time you get to the Revelation, you should have read through at least all of the New Testament. And as you read through Isaiah, you're going to be comparing a lot of things with the Revelation. Verse 17, they said, For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Well, you know, it's interesting that word phrase, is come, is the exact same phrase that we read about in 2 John verse 7, where we are told, Many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh. Is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. That is not a past tense. It's not even a present tense. That word come, that's translated is come, is actually a future tense. So it literally, excuse me, can read, For the great day of his wrath is coming, and who shall be able to stand? We're going to be reading more about that as we go into Revelation chapter 7. So hang with us on this study. You can access all of the studies at our main website, hungryheartsministries.com.